ACHA D3 National Championships is on the air from the Chiller North Ice Arena in Columbus. This is game number 2 of the day between the number 3 ranked Hope College Flying Dutchmen and the number 2 ranked team out of the Atlantic, the Fairfield University Stags. Good morning and welcome into today's broadcast alongside Captain Lou Gamlin. I am Marcus Grosnick. Happy you could join us here for what is sure to be a very competitive game between a team in Fairfield, Lou, who has been here the last 3 years, and a team in Hope who the last time they were at Nationals was 2014, and they were the runner-up. So I think both teams have a lot to prove. What are your expectations out of today's game?
Well, I think you're going to see at the start maybe a little bit of nervousness through the first period. Hope, as you mentioned, it's been 4 years since they've been here, but to me they're on a roll. You and I saw them in the regional qualifiers, and they looked very strong. Goaltending on the defensive end especially, and I think they scored 14 goals in the 2 games as well. Fairfield, this is their 3rd straight year as an auto bid qualifier. You're right, they have something to prove. I think they're coming in with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. They're one of the many teams, Marcus, I think, that is looking to try, obviously, to knock off the MCHC in this tournament this year, but they feel that this could be their year to do it in a wide open national tournament.
And you talk about the MCHC and how dominant they have been. 6 of the last national champions have come from that MCHC, including your team, Aquinas, who moved up to the NAIA after winning it last year. And the Stags coming off a runner-up in the Empire Conference, losing to Farmingdale State last week 7-1. So have a little momentum coming in, some confidence. What do the Stags have to do to slow down Hope's offense?
Well, I think the big thing is going to be, special teams, in my opinion. They may have the slight edge in that. Guard against the odd man rushes. We've talked about this before with these good teams. A lot of them are not used to playing from behind. If Fairfield does get behind a goal, for example, how are they going to react? Are they going to get back on their heels? They got to keep the full court press, if you use a basketball analogy. Keep it going for 60 minutes. And keep that defensive style of hockey that they play so well. 49 goals is all they've given up throughout the year, and that's a very amazing stat.
And you talk about Hope being maybe a little bit nervous, not having been on the national stage in 4 years. They have 4 runner-ups in nationals: 03, 2010, 2011, and 2014. They had to go through the regional, beating a very good Ferris State team 7-0 and 7-3 against Adrian to get themselves in the national championships. Is the key for them calming the nerves in the first 5 minutes and getting their system set up?
Oh, I think it is, Marcus. They got to do what they've done all year, and that's really put the pressure on. They're more of an offensive team, I believe, and the stats show it. They've scored just under 160 goals over the year. They can put the puck in the net. They've got kids that have been here for 4 years. Garrett Gormley's been huge. Elliot Dickinson, Riley Draper. Those are the ones that I look for. And, of course, the goaltending, as we mentioned at the top, with Austin Kane. He was huge in that regional tournament. I think he's going to be a key as well.
Both teams getting ready to make their way out onto the ice surface. Referees have made their way onto the ice. Just about 5 minutes away from getting puck drop set here from the Chiller North Ice Arena. Score update on the other rink, the first game of the day. George Mason taking on the Vezina Cup winners from the MCHC, Central Michigan University. Ryan Tyre getting the opening goal, and it's a 1-0 lead for Central, who a lot of people believe are the favorites to come out of this as national champions.
Well, they've got a total package of a team right there. There's a team, you talk about Cinderella stories a couple of years ago when they made it as an 8th seed and all the way to the Final Four. They've got it. They're loaded. But George Mason is no slouch either. They've got the nation's leading scorer in Cameron Smith, 72 goals in 28 games. That's going to be an explosive game over there.
Looking at Fairfield, we talked about guys like Garrett Gormley, Riley Draper, guys like that from Hope. On the other side, Scott Colheap, 21 goals, 35 assists this season, led the team in goals and points, and 6 power play goals. So a big forward is always around the net, and I think for the defense, they have a very stout defense. A lot of returning players from last year's team, 16 returning Stags coming back, which I think is going to help them with the veteran presence.
Oh, I definitely agree, Marcus. They, as we mentioned at the top, they know what it's like to get here, but they know what they want to do, and that's take that next step, which is a lot of teams that are here this year have not taken that next step to get to the Final Four because of the teams that have been there in the past that are not here anymore. So this is their opportunity.
As both teams make their way out of the blue line. So the Hope Flying Dutchmen are going to get introduced first. On the back end, the starting lineup is going to be Elliot Digneson. And let me see here. I know I had it. And Skylar Miller, number 22, up front. It's going to be Garrett Gormley, Riley Draper, and Austin Peterson, with Austin Kane, as we mentioned in the opener, going to be the starting goaltender. As they're getting introduced, Lou, what are a few keys for the Hope Flying Dutchmen here in today's game? Well,
it's what I mentioned. They want to get off to the fast start. You know, they want to take control on the physical end of it. You know, they want to, you know, establish the back check when they're on the opposite end. They want to continue the pressure in the corners and create as many chances as they can. They're very good creating a lot of odd man rushes throughout the year, and I think that's going to be one of their keys to victory.
It's the Fairfield Stags. Get ready to be introduced. So Francis Wedge is going to start on the back end. And number 21, Dan Gaberna is going to be his defensive partner. Ben Affinito, 33 penalty minutes, led the team. They do not take a lot of penalties, do the Stags. They're a very disciplined team. Scott Colehep, as we mentioned the scorer on this team.
You mentioned it, Marcus, 85% penalty kill. They're very strong on their special teams.
And number 8, Jason Colehep. So the brothers gonna start things off. And the starting goaltender is gonna be Nick Lonnie, who has been the workhorse. Time for the national anthem, and then we'll have puck drop. Welcome back into the Chiller North Ice Arena. Fairfield taking on Hope College. Lou Gamlin, Marcus Gross. Next up, you can join us here for game number 2 this morning. Central Michigan already with a 1-0 lead over on sheet number 1 as they take on the George Mason Patriots. Going over the starting lineups first for the Hope College Flying Dutchmen: Garrett Gormley, Riley Draper, Austin Peterson, Evan Fall, Elliot Digneson, and in goal is going to be Austin Kane. For the Stags, Francis Wedge, Jason Colehep, Ben Affinito, Dan Gaberna, Nick Lonnie, and Scott Colehep are going to make their way on the ice to be the 6 starters for the Stags. Stags last year went 1 for 2 in pool play, losing 6-1 both times to to Iowa State and Aquinas. The only win was against a pretty good Tampa Spartans team, 4-3. And as we mentioned, Hope coming into into the national tournament for the first time since 2014, as they made it to the semifinals of the Vezina Cup, I believe, losing to Michigan State.
Yes, they did. Marcus, this is going to be a wide-open national tournament. No real clear-cut favorites. It's, as you and I talked last week on the power play, team that first day is huge. Win that first game, a real big momentum booster.
Puck gets knocked in by Gormley along the left wing boards. Picked up by Scott Colheap. Then taken away along the near side by Austin Peterson. Comes right back in front of Lonnie. Couple hacks at it, and finally comes loose to Dan Gaberna. Gaberna now backhands it up through the middle. Good stretch pass out to Ben Effinito. Here's a shot and a penalty coming up against Hope College as a good little shovel pass out to Jason Colheap in front of Austin Kane. And the power play will go to work here quickly. Just 30 seconds gone by in the first.
Well, there we go. 30 seconds in, as you mentioned, Marcus. Fairfield gets the extra man advantage. Colheap with a beautiful play, and Austin Kane had to be strong. 21.6 is the power play percentage for Fairfield, while Hope College 76.9 on the penalty kill.
Last year, Fairfield was 1 for 14 in the power play. That's 7% in the tournament. Their penalty kill was a little bit better, 11 for 16 at 69%. Here's a backdoor pass, shoot, score! Dan Gaberna, the defenseman, jumping in on the play, and the backdoor pass creates the goal, and Fairfield's up 1-0 with 19:17 left here in the first.
Wow, what a play by Dan Gaberna. Just like that, you mentioned it, Marcus, putting the biscuit in the basket, and all of a sudden we've got a 1-0 game. 43 seconds, the time of the goal, a power play goal.
Off the face-off win, it's Owen Gleason. Gleason back at center ice, picked quickly up by Caleb Warts. Warts back into the zone, trying to drive hard to the net. Picks up his dump in along the left wing. Lonnie now steers it away behind the goal to to Ryan McGovern, and that one gets flipped up and out of play. 19:01 left in the first period. 1-0 Fairfield on a power play goal by Dan Gaberna.
Lawler and Moreno, I believe, got the assists on that goal. So again, let's see how Hope can react to that quick goal in the first minute.
Puck comes around to the left side. Hope trying to pinch along the boards. That's Stewart. Battles with McGovern. Fairfield picks things up below the goal line in their defensive zone. Quickly turned back in by Cole Stenstrom. Stenstrom drops it back for Peter Stewart. Along the far side right wing board is Michael Knightley. Knightley jumps this one back into the left wing corner stag zone. Fairfield getting off to a quick start here. As we mentioned, that's what they had to do, and Hope had to try to weather that storm. Picked up by Will Jones. Jones gets it out of the zone. Couldn't keep it in there was Max Moens. And the Hope College Flying Dutchman go for a change that allows the Stags to break back out with it. Kyle Morano. Morano in on the forecheck, battles with Joseph Brown. Then Morano right back to the point, and the pass just outside the reach of Cam Geary. Otherwise, they would have had a pretty good opportunity from the point. Back with it is Russell Mazzaro. Up the boards for number 88, Nick Drennan. Drennan gets taken down at center ice, and the Hope College Dutchman able to pick things up and dump back in by Joe Brown.
Really impressed, Marcus, with the speed of Fairfield in his opening minutes. Of course, with the momentum, with the penalty, and now Hope showing a little bit of physicality as well.
Yeah, I was interested to see how their legs were going to be after playing that championship game against Farmingdale State, as the Dutchmen come in with a 3-on-1, and that shot gets deflected up off Lonnie as the shot came from Justin Pinto from the right wing. And we have an offensive zone draw coming up for Hope. But as I mentioned, Luke, see how their legs were coming off a very physical game against Farmingdale.
Well, and then Fairfield talking with Michael Silva before the game this morning. Their bus broke down on the way here, so a little bit of adversity faced by them again this year, but they've come out flying, as you mentioned. But the first big rush for Hope, and a good save by Fairfield.
Diggeson off the draw at the right point, took a shot, didn't get all the way through, comes right back to him over the Blue Jackets logo at center ice. Dump back in as Justin Pinto takes a hit but still controls the puck. Good puck control and puck shielding there by the forward. Now Tom Mazzaro. Mazzaro flips this one out at center ice, knocked down with a glove and played by Hope. Back into the zone is Bulmer. Bulmer looking for a shot, but good defense out in front by Elliot Digneson, who took away the passing lane. Hope comes back out with it. Skylar Mill along the left wing boards, takes a shot, and that one gets shrugged away by Lonnie. Goes around to the right wing corner. Hope gets it back to the point for Warts. His shot goes wide, but Lonnie's not going to take a chance, and he's going to glove it down with 16:35 left in the first. 1-0 Fairfield on a power play goal.
Well, Marcus, on that last rush for Fairfield, it was a last-minute defensive play because Tom Mazzaro had a wide-open net to the left of Austin Kane. It could have very quickly been 2-0.
Here's a quick shot off the draw. Lonnie going to cover it up as he had Will Jones, the defenseman, trying to help him out to keep that puck out of the goal crease. And a broken play almost resulted in a full-strength goal there for Hope. And we'll do it again to the right of Lonnie with Draper in the face-off dot. Here's a quick shot, gets deflected wide. Fairfield's going to pick it up, Ben Affinito. Up through the middle, trying to connect with Scott Colheap. But they retreat back into their own zone. James Neary. Neary along the near side half boards. Gives it along to Will Jones. Jones up for Scott Colheap. 6 power play goals on the year, 21 and 35 as he loses an edge. Takes the referee out below the goal line. And Hope trying to come up with the puck as 2 Stags are right in on the forecheck. That was Colheap and Neary. Trying to take it away from Wiederhoft. Wiederhoff pushes it along the left side half boards. Now straight up the middle come the Dutchman. Into the zone is Peterson. Drops it back at the left wing boards. Drops it for Draper. His shot turned wide by Lonnie. Lonnie has been the workhorse of this team. They've had 3 different goalies this season, but Lonnie has played the most. Here's a quick shot turned wide on the butterfly. Stags come back up off the rebound. Scott Colheap out through center ice. Brown was there for Hope, and he's able to dump this one back into the near side corner. Stenstrom trying to kick it through his legs to a stick, picked up by Scott Colheap, and he flips this one down with 15:08 left in the first.
Nick Lonnie's had to be sharp in the last 90 seconds, Marcus, and Hope really starting to put some pressure on the Stags.
Puck gets dumped back in. Fairfield going to go on the forecheck, but the speed of Hope allows them to come back up with it as Stenstrom got it out of his zone and quickly back in. Right behind Austin Kane. Hope sets things up. Out through the middle. Good pick off there by Francis Wedge to read the play as Fairfield goes for a partial change. And Hope brings back up the puck. Now we got a whistle stopping play.
I didn't see what happened. I don't know if it was delayed offsides or if we're going to get a penalty coming up.
Let's see here. I don't think it's a penalty. I think you're right, Lou. I think it's just a delayed offsides that nobody heard.
One of the things that I like about this Hope team, Marcus, is that they haven't let that goal rattle them. They've just their business as usual, keeping the skating going, the forecheck, and they're looking very strong now on the offensive end.
Miller for Hope swings it around the near side. Now for Noah Arendt. Arendt along the near side for Fall. He gets taken down. Hope shuffles it back up to the point. Here's Miller looking to go through the legs of Lonnie and couldn't get it. Now Digneson takes a shot from the left point. Didn't get all the way through, and Hope retreats back into their own zone. Digneson out through the middle, picked up by Fall. Fall's pass gets picked off there by Nick Drennan, who read the pass again. Stags have done a good job of reading those passes. Now Kyle Morano. Morano takes a shot, and Austin Kane covers up the puck to get a whistle. 13:55 left in the first. 1-0 Fairfield.
Well, you can see that both teams as well, Marcus, are trying to establish the physicality side of the game. They're not going to be pushed around, and I think the nervousness is over. A couple of solid hits. We're ready for some hockey.
Face off to the right of, to the left of Kane. It's going to be Justin Pinto in the draw for Fairfield, and he won that away from Brendan Joyce. Austin Kane thought about playing the puck. Pinto comes around below the goal line. He gets taken out by Cameron Wiederhoft, number 14 in blue. Fairfield in the white jerseys with black pants, white socks, and red helmets. Hope in the blue socks, pants, jerseys, and helmets. Fairfield going to stretch this one out through the middle. Good pass up to Skylar Miller. Miller takes a shot and a dandy save by the glove of Austin Kane. 13:24 left, and a good pass finally breaks Skylar Miller free.
Austin Kane showing why he's been a mainstay for the Flying Dutchman for the last few years. A point-blank range save to keep it a 1-goal lead. He's been sharp other than that power play goal.
Here's a quick shot off the draw. Gets loose of Kane as he shrugged that one off with the right shoulder. And Hope breaks this one back out. No icing as it was touched up by Cam Geary. Geary's going to get it off the near side dasher. Up to Colheap, one of the assistant captains. Now Colheap takes a shot. That's Jason Colheap, the captain. Come turnaround shot. Austin Kane makes the save off the stick of Ben Affinito. And we will get a whistle stopping play. 13:57 left in the first.
Well, I like the end-to-end action, Marcus. As I mentioned, both teams, the jitters are over. Now Fairfield with a couple of quality chances, and Kane's been very solid, as I mentioned, to keep it a 1-goal game.
Face off to the right of Austin Kane. Hope wins another draw. They've done a very good job at winning defensive zone draws here through the first quarter of the game, Lou, and I think that has really allowed them to set up some offensive chances.
Oh, agreed.
Here's Stenstrom over the Blue Jackets logo. Offsides is going to be the call. 12:41 left in the first. 1-0 Fairfield.
I was waiting for the whistle. It looked they hesitated at first, and I think one of the Fairfield defensive men kind of stopped because he was anticipating the call, and right at the last second, the referee lifted up his arm and called the offsides.
Face-off will be at neutral zone in front of the Fairfield bench. Fall in the draw, and Hope wins it and dumps this one quickly back into the offensive zone. Sam Rice there for Fairfield, pushes it along to Francis Wedge. Up through the middle is Owen Gleason. Fairfield going in on the forecheck. Michael Knightley chips that one away from Jacob Miska.
We're going to get a penalty call. I'm sorry, Marcus. A delayed penalty call coming up on Fairfield. Looked like a trip.
A tripping call as Miska got taken down. Hope trying to counterattack with the extra attacker. And that one is going to be touched up by Dan Gaberna, the power play goal. And Hope will go on the power play for the first time in tonight's game.
Yeah, we're going to get a tripping call, as I mentioned. It was a pretty obvious call, as Hope now will go to the power play for the first time. They are 20.8 on the power play. And as we mentioned with Fairfield, a very stout 84.31 on the penalty kill.
Last year in the national tournament, they were 11 for 16 on the penalty kill as well. 69%, just 5 power play goals given up. That has been the strength of their game. As Digneson plays catch at the point, and a shot by Caleb Wirtz is gloved down by Lonnie with 1:51 left here in the power play. 11:55 left in period number 1.
Garrett Gormley, 8 power play goals on the regular season, as mentioned for Hope. They've also got Riley Draper with 4.
Gormley takes a shot, gets blocked out in front by Fairfield. They didn't know where it was as Nick Drennan had it caught up in his pants. Finally comes loose around to Riley Draper below the goal line. Draper back to Gormley, left point. Skates to the high slot, takes a shot, screened out in front. And the puck went wide to the right of Lonnie. Here's the backdoor save made by Lonnie as he moves to his right. Now taken away by Austin Peterson. Peterson back to Gormley. Left point. Now high slot. Here's a shot. That one goes just wide off of Elliot Digneson's shot. 26 helpers this year for Digneson. Digneson now. Here's another shot. That one goes just wide. They are trying that weak side, Lou, and they just have not been able to put the puck on the net.
Well, the first time Gormley had the opportunity, it kind of slipped off of his stick when he had more of a wide open opportunity.
Fairfield clears this one down yet again as Digneson was trying to catch Fairfield in a change. 50 left on the power play. 10:52 left here in the first. 1-0 Fairfield. Brown with it for Hope. Left face off dot. Now goes down low for Mullins. Mullins looking to center that one. He gets taken off the puck by Dan Gaberna. Now a second check, and Fairfield clears the puck, but we're going to get another penalty, and it'll be a two-man advantage for 32 seconds for Hope.
Wow, here is a golden opportunity for the Dutchman, Marcus, to tie things up at 1. A 5-on-3 for 32 seconds, and this penalty is I didn't see what happened on the penalty, but it looks like Sam Rice is going to go to the box.
I think it was a cross-check in front, Lou. I think he was trying to clear out some of the Dutchmen. And Rice is going to take a 2-minute cross-checking penalty. So we'll have the face-off to the left of Lonnie. In the face-off dot, Tom Mazzaro for Fairfield, and he wins it away as Max Mowens was the losing party on that draw. And Austin Kane's going to drop it back for Joseph Brown.
Boy, that was huge, Marcus. Going to eat up about 15 to 20 seconds on the 5-on-3. Fairfield showing why they've got such a stout penalty kill.
When you talk about a momentum change, or at least a pretty big moment in this game already early in the first, with a two-man advantage, if you're Hope, you got to at least try to score on one of these power plays to get yourself back into it. As Lonnie covers up the puck with the glove, as Fall is going to go to the penalty box for goaltender interference.
That was a pretty obvious call there, Marcus, so that's going to eliminate the 5-on-3. So a frustrating play for Hope. Now they've got to bounce back and try to get the momentum back, if you will, to try to tie things up if you're a Dutchman fan.
So 4-on-3 for 4 seconds, and then we'll have 4-on-4 for about 1:28 minutes. And then Fairfield will have roughly about 20 to 30 seconds of power play time. Face-off won by Hope, picked up by Joseph Brown for Caleb Warts. Warts takes the shot, fought off by Lonnie, gave up a rebound, and then the net came off the moorings as Warts went diving into the net with Michael Knightley.
Marcus, Caleb Warts had a huge weekend in that MCHC regional qualifying effort by the Dutchman. He was everywhere on the ice, no pun intended. He was flying all over, and he set up a couple of big goals for them to keep that momentum throughout the weekend.
Yeah, they had a really good regional, as we mentioned. 14 goals, only gave up 3 against a very good Adrian team and a pretty good Ferris State team as well. Stags with their 3rd straight auto bid out of the Atlantic region. Here's a backhand attempt off the post and goes wide. Off the stick of Garrett Gormley. Along the near far side is Austin Peterson along the boards. Drops it back to Diggison at the right point. Diggison now goes to Wart's left point. Takes the shot, blocked away by Scott Colheap. Colheap trying to rough his man off the puck, then gets blockered away by Colheap off the shin pads. Diggison now, right face-off circle, skates in, takes the shot and throws that one over the crossbar. Scott Colheap able to clear this one out. 36 left on the 4-on-4. And then 28 seconds of power play time for Fairfield as Lonnie's going to glove that one down off the stick of Austin Peterson, who has 2 shorthanded goals this season, which leads the Flying Dutchman.
Now I'm beginning to see why Nick Lonnie was 11-1 on the year with an .871 save percentage. Goals against a little over 2.5. He's been tested, especially with a 5-on-3 and with a lot of traffic in front of the net. And it's with the media timeout here with 9:04 left. Chance for both teams to catch their breath. Very impressed with the penalty kill for Fairfield so far.
All right, timeout on the ice for the media. We will step away. 1-0 Fairfield with 9:04 left in the first. You're listening to day 1 of the Division III ACHA National Championship. back here at the Chiller North Ice Arena. Lou Gamlin, Marcus Grosnick, 1-0 Fairfield on a power play goal just 43 seconds into the first. As that came off the stick of Dan Gaberna. 4-on-4 hockey here for 28 seconds. Face off to the right of the Fairfield netminder Nick Lonnie. Brown off the win for Hope and cleared out to center ice. Owen Gleason drops it back for McGovern. McGovern now skates into the corner. Center attempt looking for the finish. There was Owen Gleason. He gets pinched along the boards by Cameron Wiederhoft. Back with it is McGovern. Back to the right point, or left point, takes a shot. That one gets deflected just wide. Back to the right point as Cam Geary steers this one into the near side corner. Power play now for the Stags for 24 seconds. Owen Gleason back to the left point for Russell Mazzaro. Mazzaro back to the left point, takes a shot off the outside of the cage. Owen Gleason set up by Cam Geary. Gleason out. Left point, back to the high slot for Mazzaro. Now Geary right face-off shot. Takes a shot trying to go high glove on Austin Kane, and he makes that save easily. 8:11 left in the first. 1-0 Fairfield with 3 seconds left on the power play.
Great save by Austin Kane. He had Ryan Knightley right in front of him, kind of a Tomas Holmstrom style. And then he also had the big fella Ryan McGovern to his right. Great goaltending by Austin Kane, a couple of huge saves.
Face off to the left of Kane. Hope wins another defensive zone draw. Diggeson now behind Kane is going to clear this one down. Both teams at full strength with 8 left here in the first. Fall to Diggeson. Takes a shot. Score! Diggeson starts the rush, and he's the one to finish it as Evan Fall sets him up right in front of Lonnie. Full strength goal at 7:55, and Hope ties things up here in the first.
You mentioned it, 12:05, the time of the goal in the first period. A beautiful rush. You know, they showed their speed that time. They showed why they're one of the top scoring teams in the country. Diggeson from start to finish, a beautiful feed from Fall. Not a whole lot that Lonnie could do on that one, Marcus, and we've got a 1-1 tie. Face
off at center ice. Fairfield dumps this one in. Kane's going to leave it for Jacob Miska. So Diggeson's going to get the goal. So Pinto and Fall are going to get the assist for Hope, as it's an icing call on the Dutchman, so the face-off will come back down into their defensive zone.
Marcus, now we'll see what Fairfield will do after giving up their first goal of the tournament. Again, a beautiful play off the feed from Diggeson, and he was the one that he was the recipient of the pass from Fall, and we got a tie score.
Along the near side, Fall breaks back out with it. Now Aaron looking for a center attempt, decides to shoot, and Lonnie comes out of his crease to make the save in the chest protector. 7:32 left in the first. 1-1 is the score.
Well, it's very impressive now. The Dutchmen with a little extra pep in their step, as you would imagine, after getting that tying goal. Now we'll see, like we said, how Fairfield will respond on the defensive end.
Picked up by Peterson, left face-off circle, Stag zone, looking to go back to Miska, but decided to go down low to Gormley. Gormley picks things up, battles down low with Will Jones. Gormley gets taken down to the ice, and we got another penalty coming up on Fairfield. It's going to be number 27, Brendan McDonough, for Fairfield. I think it's going to be either a cross-check or a roughing call here.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer there. Just not a good penalty if you're Fairfield. And when Hope's got they've got all the momentum right now, and then you take a penalty to go on the penalty kill again, they're going to be tested to try to keep it a tie ball game here in the first period.
Peterson was the skater for Hope that got taken down. Got a little bit of discussion still. A clear penalty. They haven't put a time up. Okay, there's 2 minutes on the clock for Fairfield.
Yeah, you can tell Chris Van Timmeren not very happy with that play, the head coach of the Flying Dutchman, and he's got a few words to say, and he's calling Stewart over to talk to him. That was a rough one.
Yep.
You know, face first into the boards. That's tough. You know, and something you don't want to see.
And it's going to be just a 2-minute penalty there, Lou. We'll get his thoughts in the first intermission as you will have a chance to talk to Chris Van Timmeren. 7:13 left in the first. Face off to the right of Lonnie. Draper in the draw for Hope. Goes up against Morano, and Draper wins it back to Gormley at the left point. Picked up by Fairfield, and James Neary able to clear this one down the length of the ice.
Checking from behind the penalty call as we expected.
Hope comes back out with the puck. Caleb Wartz up through the middle. Losing an edge there was Garrett Gormley, but he's able to regain possession. Get his own shot. Score! I did not see who Gormley passed that one off to, as it was helter-skelter in front of the net. I believe it's going to be Riley Draper. 2-1 Hope on a power play goal with 6:49 left in the first.
Riley Draper, his 5th power play goal of the year. And again, the power play, 20.8% for Hope College. They showed why there. It's going to go up. Looking strong on that one. And just like that, 2-1 in favor of the Flying Dutchman.
Again, Gormley with a great job. He lost his skates in the neutral zone, yet still was able to push that one to the front of the net. And Riley Draper doing the job gets the goal. Francis Wedge along the near side. Picked up by Mowens. And Fairfield comes back out with it. Will Catalano. Catalano drops it for Ben Affinito, and his shot off Wiederhoft gets deflected up into the protective netting. 6:26 left in the first. 2-1 Hope for the first time today.
14:09 the time of the goal, Marcus. Again, that was Riley Draper on the power play, the first power play of the night for Hope. Gormley and Wirtz got the assists, a beautiful play, and just like that, the Dutchmen now have the advantage, 2-1.
Wiederhoft off the face-off draw. Picked up by Justin Pinto. Back to Wiederhoft along the near side half boards. Up off the dasher glass, out to center ice. And Huffer cannot dump this one in deep. Long in front of the Fairfield bench was Wartz and Ben Affinito. Back into the zone is Scott Colheap. Here's a shot. Didn't get all the way through as Affinito was following up the play. Jason Colheap now on the far side. Scott Colheap takes a shot on Wiederhoft, and the puck gets deflected up and out of play. 5:54 left in the first. Hope with the first lead of today, 2-1.
Well, Hope again really coming out with all the momentum, showing their speed, showing their grit, and very impressive after that power play goal they gave up 30 seconds in. They didn't get deterred. Now they got two goals in the second half of this period within a couple of minutes of each other, Marcus, and they definitely have the momentum and the advantage.
Here's a quick shot, gets deflected off a stick as Michael Della Torre was the shooter for Fairfield. Picked up by Caleb Wartz. Wartz up through the middle, trying to connect with Huffer, and Fairfield clears the zone. Quickly by Wartz back in. Hope goes for change, and a big hit given there as Ryan McGovern got taken down to the ice.
Yeah, his eyes definitely weren't on that one. Almost a, we're going to get an offsides call, I believe, but almost a Cronwall, if you will, right at the blue line. And now temper's starting to flare a little bit. Some pleasantries exchanged right in front of us.
As Aaron is having some words with Owen Gleason, who got tangled up together at the blue line that caused the offsides.
Well, we mentioned it, Marcus. These teams, especially on Fairfield and Farmingdale, they've been here so many times. I think playing with a little more of a chip and a little more of an edge, they want to prove something, that they want to show the Michigan teams that, we want to be in that playground. We want to be in that Final Four.
And they've had the chance the last 3 years. I mean, they have a very good regular season, just have not been able to put things together in the postseason. As Sample now for Fairfield gets taken off the puck. Hirsch back in with it. Hope takes the shot and turned wide off the right pad of Lonnie. Picked up by Brown. Brown takes a hit, and we got a whistle stopping play, and it's going to be an elbow call.
Interesting call on that, Marcus. Way away from the play, right out at center ice, the official made the call. So sometimes that particular play, I don't know if he had a better sight on it, but a little surprised that the call was made from way back there.
And it's going to be on number 7, Tom Mazzaro. 2 minutes for elbowing.
Both teams 1 for 3 on the power play right now, Marcus, as Hope again trying to take a commanding lead in this early going.
Power play for the 3rd time today for Hope. Here's a shot, and Lonnie covers up the puck. 4:36 left in the first, 1:45 left on the power play.
Gormley with a sniper shot from just inside the blue line in traffic, and Lonnie was sharp with that one to see it right into his glove.
Puck comes back out to Peterson, left face-off circle. Gormley high slot, now switches with Diggeson, looking for that one-timer. Lonnie takes a shot, and he covers it up. He took a shot. I think that was Draper looking for some contact. Diggeson was one that took the ripper.
Draper was parked right in front of the net, right in front of Lonnie, looking for any scraps off of a rebound, but Lonnie knew that he was going to have to hold on to that. Another snipe shot from Gormley right just in the upper slot area.
Face off to the left of Lonnie. Hope picks it up. Austin Peterson along the near far side corner. Looking for Warts. Warts now skates back to the high slot. Takes a shot. Didn't get all the way through as Draper got in the way and deflected it wide. Diggeson down low into the far side corner. Gets it right back. Now plays catch with Warts. Diggeson back for Gormley. Gormley, high slot in between the face-off circles, takes a shot, and Fairfield blocks that one, but not out as that was off Kyle Morano. Morano now battling with Peterson, and Gormley can't hold the left point, and Hope retreats back out to center ice. Quickly back in. Draper to Gormley. Gormley to Draper. Score! Riley Draper's second of the game, and a tic-tac-toe goal from Gormley and Draper make it 3-1 Hope.
Well, Marcus, we talked about it on the power play. Draper rating in front of the net for the juicy rebounds, and there we go. Right out in front. Lonnie was a little bit out of position, and he was able to throw it in the back of the net. As you mentioned, 2 power play goals for Riley Draper here in this opening stanza.
3:36 left in the first. 3-1 Hope. Face off at center ice. Hope wins it back. Jacob Miska. And he swings this one around to the far side, picked up by Tom Mazzaro. And he's going to leave it for Sample. Back out is Scott Colheap. Colheap trying to touch this one free. Back with it is Ben Affinito. Affinito takes a shot and turned wide by Austin Kane. Quickly in transition, come the Dutchman. Into the zone, taking a shot. Deflected wide was Peter Stewart. Hope can't hold it in. Back comes Fairfield. Affinito. Affinito takes a shot, turned wide by the blocker, and out of play off the blocker of Austin Kane. Good back and forth there for a couple minutes. 3:06 left in the first. 3-1 Hope.
2 for 3 now on the power play for the Flying Dutchman. Draper with 2 power play goals. We got Gormley with 2 assists on that power play. Diggeson with his second point of the night. And the Dutchman taking a commanding lead in this early going.
Face-off won by Hope. They're going to try to clear this one up to Huffer along the near side dasher in their own zone. Diggeson comes in, battles with Scott Colheap. Then McDonough came in for Fairfield. Quickly back out to center ice is Russell Mazzaro. And Kane's going to leave it for number 22, Skylar Miller. Here comes a shot from the point. Kane takes the shot and turns it wide. Cam Geary, the gentleman with the opportunity from the right point. 2:37 left here in the first. 3-1 Hope.
Well, Marcus, if you're Fairfield, you just got to settle down, get some quality chances, maybe create an odd man rush or two. If they can get a goal in this last couple of minutes, it's only a 1-goal game, and they'll get the momentum back going into intermission.
Puck comes back out to the left point, and now out to center ice. Dumped back in by Russell Mazzaro. Diggeson now behind Kane. And Kane's going to flip this one down the length of the ice. Is it going to be enough for icing? It's not. Lonnie has to come out to play it. Picked up by Noah Aaron. Aaron then takes a shot from McGovern along the near side. Back to the point. Aaron now looking for a shot. Deflected wide off the stick of Evan Fall. Here's another shot attempt. That one didn't go in, as Fall thought that might have. So he had their arms raised already. Picked up by Hirsch. And now Lonnie is down on the ice.
Yeah, collision right after that shot. There was a wild scramble right in front of the net. For a second there, I was looking at Wiederhoff up at the point. He was cocked and ready to get a pass to shoot one in. But Lonnie now down on all fours. Hopefully it's nothing serious.
Didn't see what kind of contact there was after that play. He is back to his feet and looks to be okay. Face-off will be to the right of Lonnie. 3-1 Hope. 2 power play goals and a full-strength goal here tonight. Face-off will be to the right of Lonnie. Won by Fairfield. Cam Geary swings it around to the far side. Picked up by Catalano. And he clears this one down right in front of Kane. Not going to be an icing call, as Wiederhoff is going to have to come around to play it. Wiederhoff back at the right side dasher. Good pass up to Peterson, looking for Gormley down low. He's tracked in by Mazzaro. Mazzaro for Fairfield gets taken down, and we're going to have a penalty coming up against Hope here late in the first. And we're going to have another power play for Fairfield, already 1 for 1 today. 43 seconds into the period. Gormley is going to go for a hook. So the faceoff will be to the right of Kane. See if the Fairfield Stars can get some magic here late in the frame to get themselves back to within 1. Hope clears this one back to the point, held in by Wedge. Wedge goes around to the near side, and Hope clears this one out off the backhand of Justin Pinto. Fairfield setting things up behind Lonnie. And it's the alternate captain, Dan Gaberna, who had the first and only goal for Fairfield in this period thus far. With 1 minute to go here in the frame, and Hope clears it down the length of the ice. Back with it is Scott Colheap, 1 on 4, able to protect the puck. He had Ben Affinito right behind him. And Affinito picks up some loose change below the goal line. Then swings it around to the left side half board for Jason Colheap. Now Dan Gaberna, right point, 30 seconds left. Scott Colheap takes a shot in a centering attempt. Looking for Ben Affinito, was not there. Kane closed the 5-hole. Back to the high slot, Francis Wedge. Wedge takes a shot, that one gets deflected. 18 seconds left, Kane makes another save. And the whistle finally blows. 14.7 left here in the first period. Hope with a 3-1 lead with 45 left on the 2-minute minor for hooking. Hope's upcoming games tomorrow, they play at 2 p.m. against Arkansas and 5 p.m. on Thursday against Florida Gulf Coast. Fairfield will take on the Eagles from FGCU tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. and then we'll take on Arkansas to finish up pool play Thursday at 2. Face off to the right of Kane, quickly won back. Here's a quick shot, and again into the glove of Austin Kane as Nick Drennan took a pretty good wrister from the left face-off circle. Pinto's going to go off, get a couple extra bodies out there. 11 seconds left. Hope clears it around to the right side. Held in at the right point by Neary. Neary and Wiederhoff battle for it. Kane plays the puck. And that is going to do it for the first period, as Fairfield jumped out to an early 1-0 lead 43 seconds into the game on Dan Caberna's first power play goal of the tournament. And then Gormley and Draper both connecting on 3 goals. Draper had 2, Gormley had 1. And Hope, having a slow start to the period, will start the second period on the penalty kill for 30 seconds. As we are going to be joined, Lou Gamlin and Chris Van Timmeren momentarily, as he's got the head coach momentarily here waiting for an interview. As now Chris Van Timmeren is going to talk to some of the referees, I think, regarding that roughing call, thinking it might have been a 4-minute penalty. He's going to get an explanation. Lou Gamlin standing by. We'll be back here soon for second period action. We'll get you caught up on the Central George Mason game that's taking place over on rink number 1. As last we heard, Ryan Tyre, the lone goal scorer for Central Michigan. We're going to send it down to Lou Gamlin, who's with Chris Van Timmeren.
We're here with head coach Chris Van Timmeren of Hope College. Chris, 30 seconds in, you guys give up a goal, but you guys weren't rattled. You held strong, and then a couple of power play goals in that first period. Great way to start.
Yeah, we started slow. You never want to take a penalty like that to begin with, but the boys rallied. We knew we could get some shots. We're going to get our opportunities, and it's a long game. So we're happy with the first period.
They got their legs going. What do you do to keep the momentum going as you run into the second period?
Well, you just got to keep the feet moving, be smart, don't take undisciplined penalties. Draws are going to be huge. We want to make sure we're doing a good job on the draws and just forecheck like we want to.
All right, Coach, thank you very much.
All right, that's
3-1 Hope College on top of Fairfield after 20 minutes of play. Marcus, back to you.
Thanks, Lou. That's head coach Chris Van Timmeren with Lou Gamlin. When we come back, we'll have second period action as Lou and I will break down period number 1. You're listening to day 1 of the ACHA Division III National Championships. Hope College 3 and the Fairfield Stags 1. Back here at the Chiller North Ice Arena, period number 2. About ready to get underway here is the Stags, who jumped out to an early 1-0 lead 43 seconds into the period on a power play goal by Dan Gaberna. Now find themselves down 3-1 on a goal by Garrett Gormley and 2 by Riley Draper late in that first period, Lou. You thought Fairfield had some momentum coming in. Hope took it right back. What do each team needs to do in the second period to either keep the momentum or, if you're Fairfield, to get themselves back into this game?
Well, if you're Hope College, Marcus, you got to keep the foot on the throttle. They showed their speed. They showed their firepower. They also showed their mettle. 30 seconds in, you give up a power play goal. And as Coach Van Timmeren said, they were a little bit slow out of the gate, but they stepped it up a gear. If you're Fairfield, you just got to take it, in 5-minute intervals. You're only down 2 goals, maybe even a 10-minute interval. Just keep, just get the momentum, get a couple of odd man rushes if you can. Try to get one past Austin Kane. You get it down to 1 goal in the first half of the second period, and then after that, they're going to be on the power play for 30 seconds. You get the momentum back in a 3-2 lead. Kane has given up a couple of rebounds. You can maybe then get the equalizer, and it's a brand new ball game. As we mentioned at the top, a lot of these teams aren't used to playing from behind. We'll see if they can get that momentum, maybe they can turn the tables.
Fairfield off the draw, like Lou mentioned. We'll have 25 seconds of power play time here to start the second period with a fresh sheet of ice. And they set things up from behind the goaltender, Nick Lonnie. Fairfield gets this one quickly over the blue line, but Hope right there, able to dump that one in off the stick of Cameron Wiederhoft. Fairfield breaks back out with it off the stick of Sam Rice, and it's going to be an icing call here on the power play for Fairfield. 30 gone by in the second, 3 ticks left on the man advantage.
That'll make it 1 out of 4 for Fairfield on the power play. Again, as we mentioned, they got the first one, their power play goal, 30 seconds in, and they haven't really been able to capitalize on the power play, so let's see if they can maybe grab a little more momentum.
Quick score update on the other side. Central Michigan up 5-0 on the Patriots from George Mason. That game is late in the second period.
Marcus, I didn't see that one coming either. 5-0 lead.
Ben Affinito takes a shot, cleared away, then comes back into the near side corner. Austin Kane, I think the net is off the mooring. Finally it is, as that was a good 10 seconds gone by before the referee recognized what had happened. So an offensive zone draw coming up here for Fairfield to the right of Austin Kane.
Obviously, one of the stars on the scorebook for Hope has been Riley Draper with 2 goals, but I really like the play of Miller on the back end for Hope. He's really helped keep the puck in the Fairfield end, if you will, and also they've won a lot of defensive draws, and he's able to start some rushes for them.
Back into their own zone is Hope. Off the near side boards is the aforementioned Miller. Gets it out to Diggison at the blue line. Now a shot gets turned wide off the stick of Joseph Brown. Comes around to the far side half boards, picked up by Owen Gleason. Gleason clears the zone and picked up by Ryan McGovern. McGovern around Austin Kane, in on the forecheck. Joe Brown trying to retreat to grab the puck. He battles in deep with Michael Knightley. Hope in the near side corner in their defensive zone. High up off the glass. Trying to clear it out at the left point, but a good keep in on a tag team by McGovern and Neary. Allows a few more seconds in the offensive zone, and finally controlled by Peter Stewart. Stewart up the ice for Draper, who's got 2 goals. Gets it right back to Stewart. Stewart in the near side corner. Gets taken down off the corner. And Fairfield clears the puck out. Miska tried to dump that one right back in off the stick of Will Catalano. Quickly controlled by Kyle Morano. Morano looking for a shot attempt. And Cole Stenstrom picks it right back up for Hope.
Great defensive play by the Dutchman. That was the opportunity that Fairfield needed to take advantage of with a giveaway, but Hope right back to squash that.
Fairfield trying to break out with it. Kyle Morano trying to stretch pass up through the middle for Brendan McDonough. But Stenstrom was there to take away that pass. Otherwise, McDonough would have been free. Along the far side corner in the Stag zone. Winding and firing. That one goes just wide off the stick of Jacob Miska. Right back in. Hope trying to go right down Main Street was Alan Hirsch. He gets taken down, and Fairfield going to get called for a tripping penalty, or excuse me, a hook. And the Stags go on the penalty kill with 17:02 left in the second.
Yeah, Marcus, that was pretty evident, pretty obvious, if you will, on the Fairfield defender that being Cam Geary, he's going to go to the box, and you could see it as number 23 Evan Fall for Hope hauled down over by the right face-off or left face-off circle. Now it's going to be the fourth power play of the night for Hope, and they are 2 for 3.
Back to the point is Gormley. Keeps it in. Two Stags come in to battle for it as it's Colheap and McGovern. Fairfield trying to clear this one out in front of Lonnie. And finally it's controlled by Francis Wedge. Wedge gains the red line and dumps this one in. Dickinson now gets it from Kane. Off the backhand. Right up the middle. Blows by Jason Colheap. Then takes a little shove from Francis Wedge. Dickinson now drops it back for Peterson. Peterson looking out in front, shoots, score! Elliot Dickinson starts the rush, and he ends it with a roof shot over the glove side of Nick Lonnie. 4-1 Dutchman with 15:24 left here in the second.
4:36 the time of the goal. Third power play goal of the afternoon for the Flying Dutchman. That power play unit has been red, or even white hot, if you will. They can't be stopped. You know, going up against a penalty kill team in Fairfield, 84%, 3 out of 4 on the power play.
And they're talking to the head coach of Fairfield. I think there could have been a slashing call right out in front of Nick Lonnie. I did not see whose stick got knocked out. I believe it was Jason Colheap. He would have been able to clear that puck, but with the slash that didn't get called, Dickinson was able to put the puck in the back of that and give the Dutchman a 3-goal lead.
Well, that's a tough break for the Stags. You know, they're down 2 goals, trying to get the momentum back, and the last thing they need to do is give up another power play goal. Tough penalty to take, and now we're getting a discussion on it right now.
And nothing is going to change about it. It's going to be a power play goal for Elliot Dickinson with 16:24 left in the second.
4 points tonight for this afternoon, rather, for Dickinson. Or check that, 3 points tonight as he's been with his second goal.
Stenstrom along the near side. He gets railed into the board, and the Fairfield Stags are going to go on the power play. Unassisted.
Unassisted. Okay, I was going to say I didn't get who got the assist on that one as he cleaned up that power play goal. So Dickinson with his second goal of the night along with Riley Draper. Unassisted at 4:36, a 4-1 lead for the Dutchman.
And now Max Mullins goes into the penalty box for cross-checking, which will give the Stags another power play goal here early on in the second period.
Not a panic situation. I'm sorry, Marcus. Not a panic situation yet for Fairfield, but a goal here would really be nice to really, as we mentioned, momentum is such a huge thing. They got to get cut into the lead. If for nothing else, it's only the first game, but you want to start thinking about goal differential for a tiebreaker.
Exactly, Lou. Like you said, goal differential is huge here in pool play, but you can't panic if you're the Stags. Still 35 minutes of game left here against Hope College. And like we talked about off air, Lou, how important winning the first game of the pool play is for each team as Austin Kane gloves that one down off the stick of Nick Drennan. You know, we've seen it in past years. You know, a loss on day one could potentially allow you not to make semifinals.
Well, Marcus, I truly believe this, that I've been saying this for the last month. I think this could be the year that a loss or a tie, you could still get into the Final Four based on a tiebreaker, but you know, that's why you really got to keep it going for 60 minutes. Even if you get behind, try to get a little bit of momentum towards the end of that game to cut down on the goal differential.
Neary up the boards, trying to go through the legs, was Nick Drennan. Comes back to the high slot for Neary. Neary's shot didn't get all the way through. Now starting to shoots. Oh, big save made by Kane. How did that one not get through the legs of Kane? Neary setting up Drennan, and Kane says no.
Austin Kane, what can you say about him? He's been the man for them for, like I said, a few years now. In that regional tournament play against Ferris State, he got the shutout. Only gave up one goal in that game against against Adrian, and you're showing why. Rock solid. A huge goal that time.
Unbelievable pass. Neary to Drennan on that weak side, and Kane had to be quick to move laterally, and he got the stop, and I think it actually got caught in his pads. So he's lucky he didn't move back in below the goal crease, because that would have been a good goal had he done that. Shot gets turned wide as Devos.
That was a great play over here right in front of us, Marcus, by DeVos. And, you know, he just threw it towards the goal. You never know. And Hope, what can you say? Firing on all cylinders right now, both ends of the ice.
Like our good friend Eddie Olczyk is, getting pucks to the front of that, good things will happen.
Absolutely.
Puck comes around to the near side, picked up by Pinto. Pinto centering attempt. But a good opportunity cleared out by the Stags. Cole Heave now up through the middle, trying to go through the legs of for Catalano. And Hope clears this one down with 32 left on the power play.
Boy, DeVos and Pinto really playing strong on the penalty kill.
Fairfield with some speed up the middle. McDonough now drops it to Scott Colheap. Colheap trying to take a shot, then lost an edge. And oh, it's going to be a penalty.
Yeah, he got taken down from behind, Marcus. Again, a little bit late on the whistle that time, but it's going to be a 5-on-3 for about 16 seconds. So, again, another opportunity for the Stags to cut into this lead and try to gain that momentum to try to get back in this one.
Caleb Wartz is going to be the guilty victim, number 12 for the Flying Dutchman. So 5-on-3 for 16 seconds. Good chance here for Fairfield to get things back and the ship righted. Here's another shot, goes directed wide. Will Jones with a good clapper from the left point. Goes down low into the corner. Fairfield trying to get it back. Takes a shot, gets deflected up and out of play. McDonough, the one with the opportunity. Now 5-on-4 with 1:43 left on the power play.
Patrick Lawler camped right out in front of, Michael Jordan camped right out in front of Austin Kane to shield his view, but Kane was able to get that one deflected up into the safety netting. So now back to a 5-on-4, as you mentioned, 1:43 left.
Face-off won by Hope, swinging around to the near side, picking it up is Wiederhoft. Now Fairfield comes up with the loose change. Back to the high slot. It's Will Jones. Jones takes the shot, looking for a redirect. Shoots. Kane makes another save as Kyle Morano was the opportunist. Back to the high slot, and Hope comes out with a breakaway. It's Cole DeVos. DeVos shoots. Score! Cole DeVos with a short-handed goal from the red line in, and it's 5-1 Hope with 13:41 left in the second.
Well, Marcus, we talked about it as one of the big keys of the game here this afternoon is the special teams play. You've got Hope now with 3 power play goals and a shorty. 5-1, definitely the difference. I didn't see this coming with the penalty kill of Fairfield. DeVos, nifty move, top shelf, 5-1 in favor of the Dutchman.
Miska now back into the zone, and he's going to back it into his own territory. Kill some more time off the clock. That has a minute left on a power play. 13:26 left in the second, and now we have another penalty. Slashing call here, and it's going to go against Fairfield. I think it's going to be Ben Affinito. It is number 19 in white.
Indeed, so that'll make it 4-on-4 for about another 59 seconds. 1 for 6 on the power play this afternoon in a little under a half a game for Fairfield. Hope, as we mentioned, 3 out of 4 plus a shorthanded goal. Boy, I tell you what, they are, after that power play goal they gave up 30 seconds in, they have just been a house of fire.
Face-off won by Fairfield. Comes around the near side for Dan Gaberna. Fairfield, a very upperclassman heavy team. I believe last I looked, I think they have 7 or 8 seniors on this team, and they returned 16 from last year's national team.
Wow.
So very good veteran presence. We'll see how they do next year with losing some of that veteran talent, as they play in a pretty tough conference in the Empire with another team that made it to nationals in Farmingdale State, as the Rams will play a little bit later tonight against Oakland. We will have that game at 5:30.
And don't forget about Quinnipiac, the third out of the 4 teams that have made the national tournament as well.
Here's a wraparound attempt. It didn't go in as the net came off the moorings, as Peter Stewart was the one that had the wraparound opportunity.
Boy, I don't know. Some of the fans to our right from the Holland, Michigan area that made the trip, they kind of ran right with the net off its moorings. They fell right down the stands. 5-1, the Dutchman, and you mentioned a great opportunity for the Dutchman to make it 6-1, but a good save by Lonnie.
Good save made by Lonnie. Trying to go post to post there was Stewart. Still 1 minute and 1 minute for power play time here for Hope, taking a shot. That one gets deflected wide as Draper looking for the hat trick. Kept in by Caleb Wartz along that far side. Draper gets it right back. Draper below the goal line, reverses angles, looking for Garrett Gormley. He picks him up at the left face-off circle. Now back to the high slot. Here comes Wartz, and Wartz looking to go down low. And the Stags pick it up. They got a 2-on-1. Back with it is Cole Heap. Cole Heap looking to lead McGovern to the front of the net and was just outside of his reach. 26 left on the power play for the Dutchman.
Caleb Wartz on getting back on defense that time for the Dutchman. Really put a kink in that 2-on-1.
Here's Draper now. Drops it back for Gormley. Gormley far side in the corner. Here's a quick shot save made by Lonnie. Is a good opportunity by Austin Peterson. Now looking weak side for Gormley was Draper. And it comes below the goal line. Austin Peterson now. Along the near far side for Riley Draper. Draper pushes it along back to the point. Peterson's shot gets blocked, and Austin Kane is going to have to come out to play. Out through center ice, picked up by Fairfield. Hard up off the glass. Geary looking to Bulmer. Number 22 in white, hasn't gotten a lot of shifts in this game. Picked up by Evan Fall, who's had a helper already as well. Fall helping in that initial goal for Hope. Back with it is Noah Aaron. Aaron up the boards, picked up by Fall. Fall gets taken off the puck, and Fairfield able to clear it back to the blue line and out to neutral territory. Now we got a whistle stopping play, as it's going to be an offsides. 10:30 left here in the second. 5-1 Hope.
Well, as we mentioned a few minutes ago, Marcus, just about halfway through this opening contest for both teams, one of our keys to the game was special teams play, and the Dutchmen have really made it at that point, made that point look solid. 3 for 4 on the power play, plus a shorthanded goal.
Neutral zone face-off. Devos wins it back to Wiederhoft. Up over the near side, taking a shot. Lonnie makes the save, as Miller was trying to throw that one, get some redirections with Pinto and Devos going hard to the net.
Yeah, it looked like McDonough had took exception to the little bit of a snow shower at the end of that play, as he and Pinto exchange pleasantries in front of the goal crease. So again, here's the thing too, Marcus. When you're down 5-1, you don't want to lose your cool. There's still a lot of tournament left to be played, and you don't want to, you still want to try to get those goals, as we mentioned. Try to cut into this lead to keep your opportunities throughout the tournament.
Face-off will be to the right of Nick Lonnie. Devos and McDonough in the face-off dot, and Devos wins it back into the near far side left wing corner. Getting taken down was Justin Pinto, but he came back up with it. Now Brendan McDonough has it. We got a delayed penalty coming up. and it's going to go against Hope. 10:08 left in the second, 5-1 in favor of the Dutchmen, and they will go right back on the PK.
This will be the 7th opportunity, Marcus, already for Fairfield to try to get something going. And DeVos heading to the sin bin for 2 minutes. So, again, a 5-1 lead, and if you're Fairfield, get the quick shot. You know, the important thing, something you mentioned in the opening period, the defensive face-offs won, or the face-offs won in the defensive zone by Hope College have been huge. Now, again, another one won by the Dutchmen. Fairfield has got to win the face-offs to try to get something going.
DeVos guilty of... Didn't see what the penalty was. Interference.
Interference, yes.
On DeVos, that will cost Fairfield to go back on the man advantage. Almost a giveaway by Kane. Now comes back to the point for Wedge. Here's a shot. That one goes just wide off the stick of Ben Affinito. Now Dan Gaberna, the lone goal scorer for the Stags so far. 43 into that first period was the Gaberna tally. Along the left wing boards, McDonough, half side, goes down low looking for a stuff attempt, and Kane makes a save on the butterfly as Drennan was looking to go down low. Drennan's stick gets knocked out of his hands, comes right back, then loses an edge. Comes to Wedge. Wedge over for Gaberna. His shot, save made by Kane. Gaberna gets it back left point. Now it goes down low to the left face-off circle, held in by Wedge at the right point. Down low into the corner for Affinito. Back to Wedge. Wedge shovels it across to Gaberna. Gaberna takes a shot, deflected wide. That's a good block by Austin Peterson. And Hope able to clear this one back out to center ice. So it's going to be a penalty here on Hope. I think it's going to be Austin Peterson as he went low on Wedge. Took him out by the knees trying to go for that puck.
I believe you're right, Sean, or Marcus. And one of the things with Fairfield, a couple of tough breaks on that last power play rush. They had opportunities with a wide open net. McDonough especially on the right side of the crease. Austin Kane was out of position. The puck hopped right over his stick, right as about he was trying to put it in the net. And again, Hope was able to clear, but unfortunately for the Dutchman, draw the penalty. So he doesn't get any bigger for an opportunity now for the Stags. But again, lose another face-off in the defensive zone, and now it's going to eat up about 15 seconds of the 5-on-3.
Yeah, they've had a lot of good looks at the net there on that last rush for Fairfield. Just have not been able to get the pucks through and past Kane, except for the one by Gaberna. Picked up by Scott Colheap. Colheap looking for a stuff attempt. Nobody was home. Picked up by Gaberna. Gaberna now, left face-off circle, takes a shot. Turned wide by Austin Kane. And out of play, Scott Colheap looking for that one-timer on the weak side.
Boy, sure did. He wound up and fired. But again, Austin Kane was equal to the task, and he was able to deflect that one up into the safety netting. So now just 1 second left in the 5-on-3, but yet another minute and 25 left in the extra man for the Stags.
Face off to the right of Kane. Hope looking for yet another defensive zone draw, but Fairfield wins this one cleanly back to Ben Affinito. 1:20 left on the man advantage. Here's another shot, gets through, and they score as Fairfield finds a little bit of a hole. Affinito, as it was helter-skelter in the front of the net, finds a hole in Austin Kane, and the Stags with their second power play goal of the night cut the lead to 3, 5-2.
Well, that's exactly what they needed to do right now, Marcus. Get that power play goal, try to gain that momentum. They're far from out of it. There's still plenty of time left in this game, and as we keep saying, even if they can't make it all the way back, total goals scored, goal differential, they got to get into that lead, and this is a perfect way for them to start. Let's see if they can capitalize on that momentum. As you mentioned, second power play goal of the afternoon.
All right, time for a TV timeout. We will be back here from the Chiller North. Stags get a power play goal to cut the lead to 3. You're listening to day 1 of the ACHA Division III National Championships as Hope leads Fairfield 5-2.
Tough, but it's because of the net.
Yeah, the net is, yeah. Back here at the Chiller North, coming off a TV timeout and a Stags power play goal. 5-2 Hope. 7:59 left here in the second period.
Well, again, as we mentioned, Marcus, now this is the time for Fairfield to take advantage. They got to keep their momentum, keep the throttle going on their end, and try to get another goal into this one to try to cut it to 2.
Picked up in their offense or defensive zone was McGovern for Fairfield, trying to clear this one out along the left side half boards. Fairfield comes back up with it as Peter Stewart a little slow to get up and laboring to the bench. Finally does go off for a change.
Marcus, Scott Colehep will get credit for the goal. Patrick Lawler will get the assist on that power play goal, and also the other assist will go to Affinito. So give Colehep his first goal of the night.
Colehep with the goal. Affinito, he was right in on the scrum. I think he's the one that actually created the screen on Kane. As Fairfield takes another shot, that one goes rocketing by Russell Mazzaro. Comes in the near side corner. Here's Mazzaro again, takes a shot, and Kane makes the save. Another wraparound attempt goes just wide. Michael Knightley into the near side corner. Now far side right wing board. Peterson battles with McGovern. Back out to center ice. And Hope comes back out with it. Clearing it is Skylar Miller. Loose stick out there. See who's without a stick. I think they went for a change of ice. So loose lumber out on the ice. Diggison now retreats into his own zone. Drops it for Caleb Warts. Warts has the giveaway. Here's a shot attempt. Looking for the baseball swing was Jason Colehep. Here's another shot. That one goes just wide to the glove side by Andrew Bulmer. Now another attempt. Comes into the right wing corner. Back to the right point. Francis Wedge takes the shot. Gets blocked out in front as it hit Gus Sample 5 feet in front of Kane. Coming back it is Aaron. Aaron for Hope looking to center it, and Riley Draper got taken out of the play. Fairfield trying to win the race as Kane comes out to play it. He clears that one up and out of play, and it should be an offensive zone draw for Fairfield with 5:54 left in the second.
Well, Marcus, this is almost identical to the rushes that you see, or runs, if you will, in college basketball or any kind of basketball game. It's how you can weather the storm. Fairfield's got the advantage now. They've got the momentum on their side. Real impressive play on that last rush by Geary on defense for Fairfield. He thwarted a potential 3-on-2 and kept the momentum down on the other end. Now Fairfield really trying to get that next goal to make it a 2-goal game to make things a little more interesting.
Here's a centering attempt. That one goes high up off the glass and not kept in by James Neary. So Fairfield has to touch things back up. That will allow Caleb Warts to break back out with it on the PK. Gets it up to Aaron, right wing boards. Now takes a shot, blockered away as James Neary got in there. And then 2 players for Hope and Fairfield went flying Gordie Howe style onto the ice. And now we got a penalty coming up against Fairfield.
Wow.
So DeVos was the one that took the hit, and now they're going to say, I believe, is it going to be Kyle Morano going to the box?
It looks like it, Marcus. He's pleading his case. He said, it wasn't me, I didn't do it, but it looked like he sure did. Now it's going to be the 5th power play opportunity for the Dutchman, and now Fairfield really going to have to play some strong defense. 3 for 4 on the night, that power play for the Dutchman.
So now the referees are talking things over at center ice. Morano in the box. 5:14 left here in the second period. Be an offensive zone draw coming up here for the 5th time tonight.
Real impressed with, I'm sorry, Marcus, real impressed with the fight in Fairfield. They got that goal, obviously no give up yet, and they've got the momentum now. What I want to see out of them on defense is if they can win a defensive draw, and we're going to get a 5-minute major coming up on Fairfield, and I know the coaching staff not very happy over on the Fairfield side.
So it's going to be 5 minutes for boarding, I believe is going to be the call there, Lou, with 5:14 left in the second. So this penalty will continue until almost the end of the frame.
Well, there's that defensive draw one, but they couldn't clear it out of the zone.
5 minutes for boarding as Miller picks it up at the right point. Now goes down low to Brown. Brown in the far side corner, looking for Stewart. Gets it back up to Miller. Miller's gonna switch sides. He's got Fall with him along the near side corner. Fall in the right wing corner boards. Jumping over the puck was the referee. Fall gets twisted up. Wedge without a stick right now. Now finally gets it right back. Centering attempt. Nobody was there. And there's a shot. Score!
Right through the 5-hole.
It goes right through the 5-hole, Lou. And a power play goal makes it 6-2 Hope.
Time of the goal, Marcus, 15:28. Fourth power play goal. And the important point now, it's a major, so they're still going to be on the 5-on-4. As you mentioned, pretty much right through to the end of the second period. So again, Hope 4 out of 5 with the extra man. That is, you can't get much better than that.
Fairfield looked to have some momentum after that power play goal. Now Gormley comes back in with it for the Flying Dutchman. Now Austin Peterson. Brown. Miller and Brown with the assists. On the goal, Fairfield trying to clear this one out of the zone, and Diggison using his 6+ foot frame to shield the puck. Now Peterson battles in deep. Going in on the forecheck, Gus Sample trying to get a shorthanded opportunity. Fairfield goes for a partial change, and back come the Flying Dutchman. Austin Peterson up the boards and drops it for Diggison, who had to wait for Draper to get back in on side. Diggison now near side corner. Back to the high slot. Aaron fakes the shot. Now Diggison takes one. Shoots. Score! Elliot Diggison give and go with Aaron at the point and goes top shelf for Mama Heights the cookie jars on Lonnie, and it is 7-2.
That's going to be the hat trick for Elliot Diggison, his third goal of the night. As you mentioned, a power play goal. And again, one thing I noticed, Marcus, is it looks like we might be getting a goalie change here. I could see the tired legs for Fairfield. They were looking gassed right in front there up by the blue line, and just a one-timer. And Diggison with his third goal. And we've got 3:27 left to go in this second period.
Wyatt Alberigo is going to get the call in net as Lonnie, his day is finished with 3:27 left in the second with still 3:12 left on the 5-minute major.
Just
here's Miller with a shot. Didn't get all the way through. Peterson getting an assist on that goal. Hope going to set things up from behind Austin Kane. Kane dropped it to Brown below the goal line. Now pushes it up to Stewart. Stewart in the right wing corner. Back up to Miller. Now goes down low in the near side corner for Evan Fall. Fall gets a give and go at the high slot with Brown. Comes back to Miller, and in the fanning attempt, cleared out by Fairfield with 2:40 left in the second.
Marcus, now what you're going to probably see for Fairfield on this penalty kill especially is they're going to start taking some chances to get some giveaways.
Here's a shot and a save made by Austin Kane. I think he might have gotten a glove on that. Hope trying to clear this one out is kept in by Fairfield. Now he finally gets a glove on it as Dan Gaberna makes a shot attempt and Kane makes the save.
Smart play by Kane there, Marcus. As I was trying to say, you see right at the blue line on the penalty kill in the other end, in the Fairfield side, watch for them to start trying to take some chances because they're down 5 goals. They've got to try to get that deficit cut down, especially in this penalty kill. They're going to have to try to get maybe some odd man rushes shorthanded.
Face-off won by Hope, and they break back out with it. Getting it up to Gormley. Right face-off circle. Centering attempt. Shoots. Alberigo makes the save. It's still loose. And finally, he gets the whistle. And now pushing and shoving as Austin Peterson is there. He has to get restrained by Warts. That was a very late whistle. I thought Alberigo had the puck in his pads.
Yeah, I did too, unless they saw something we didn't where it was loose right in front there. But good play. Alberigo is now in the game, if you will. He got his first real test. Good play by Gormley to set up that opportunity for the Flying Dutchman.
And it's going to be another penalty on Dan Gaberna for Fairfield. So now it'll be a 5-on-3 for a minute 48.
Peterson's going to go to the box as well for Hope. So it looks like it'll be a 4-on-3, Marcus.
There you go. Thank you, sir. All that coming after the scrum, after the whistle finally did blow. So face-off will be to the right of Wyatt Alberigo. Jason Colehep and Riley Draper will take the face-off. And Colehep wins it back, but not out of the zone. Draper trying to hold it in along the left half boards. Now into the left wing corner, picked up by Draper. Draper shielding it away from Mazzaro. Draper comes back to the high slot, gives it to Gormley. Gormley back to the high slot as Elliot Diggison is going to be the point man. They're running like a 1-3-1 right now on the power play. And Fairfield able to clear this one back out with it. Scott Colehep gets taken down, and Hope is going to get a penalty here as it's touched up. 1:29 left in the second.
Draper's going to get called for the penalty, Marcus. So now here's an opportunity possibly for Fairfield. 1:29 left to go here in the second period to go back and get that goal, to cut it to 4 and try, as we keep saying, to get the momentum going into this third period to try to cut into this goal differential.
Face-off will be to the right of Kane. As Skylar Miller will take the face-off for Fairfield up against Austin Peterson. See, that's Mullins, number 20. Saw a 0, thought it was 10, guessed wrong. Comes along the left side half boards. Fairfield kicks it in at the right half boards and now down into the corner, picked up by Brown. Brown going to break back out with it for the Dutchman. This is going to be an icing call, I believe, on Hope. It is. The whistle does blow. 52 left on the 4-on-4. And Fairfield will go on the power play. 1:06 left in the second. Coming up in the second intermission, Lou Gamlin will have a chance to talk to the head coach of Fairfield, get his thoughts on the first 40. Back at the blue line in the Hope zone. Brown pushes it along to the far side. This one's knocked back in. Alberigo makes the save from Wiederhoff. He took a shot from about 60 feet away. Fairfield's going to clear this one down. Again, it's going to be an icing call. 40.3 left here in the second period. 7-2 in favor of Hope. And we kind of talked about it in the opener, how dominant the MCHC has been over the last 6 years. They have been national champions 6 straight seasons. With Aquinas being the defending champion, they will not defend as they moved up a level to varsity NAIA hockey, as did the runner-ups of last year's national tournament, Calvin College. They also moved up to ACHA Division I. So new blood, Central Michigan looking very strong in their game against George Mason. Hope looking strong here with 14 to go. Trying to skate into the zone was Gleason. And he did not get an opportunity off as Alan Hirsch took it away. Hirsch at the right wing, gives it over to Fall. Fall takes a shot and doesn't get all the way through, and the horn will sound as the Stags will find themselves down by 5. Going into the second intermission. 7-2 is your score for the Hope Flying Dutchman and the Fairfield Stags. Game number 2 here on day 1 of pool play. Coming up next, or coming up a little bit later, today Oakland will play Farmingdale State. That should be a very good contest. As Lou Gamlin and myself will have that game right here on rink number 1. So pretty good games coming right back up. And we're going to send it down to Lou Gamlin, who's got the head coach of Fairfield.
And we're here with Michael Silva, head coach of Fairfield College. Coach, had a little momentum going in the middle of the second period. Then the special teams has been a tough play for you tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear here what the issue is. We have to stay out of the box. A game like this is obviously really emotional. The kids just have to be able to channel the energy and the emotions properly and remain disciplined.
What do you tell your kids now as you go into the third period to try to get a little momentum for the rest of the week?
Well, that's exactly right. There's still 2 more games to go, even after these 20 miles we have left, and we want to be able to start figuring out some of the issues we've been having in the first 40, get through all those problems, and be able to get back on the right page. At least finish strong here, and you never know what could happen the next 2 days. So we just got to get back on the right track, starting right now.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much. 7-2 our score after 40 minutes of play. You heard it. Fairfield will try to go into the locker room and get that momentum going to get a couple of goals back to take them into the rest of the week. Marcus, back to you.
Thanks, Lou. As you heard it, still 2 more games and a period to go here for Fairfield. They got to find a way to get themselves back into this contest, with that goal differential being one of the tiebreakers. We'll see how they do coming out in the third period. 7-2 Hope after 40. You're listening to day 1 of the ACHA Division III National Championships here for the Children North Ice Arena in Columbus, Ohio. back here at the Chiller North Ice Arena in Columbus, Ohio. Day one of the ACHA Division III National Championships. Lou Gamlin, Marcus Grosnick here for game number 2 as Hope will take a 7-2 lead into the final 20 minutes of play here. No penalty time remaining on the clock, so we will start at 5-on-5. Goalie change in that period. Wyatt Alberigo came in relief of, let me see, I'm blanking, Nick Lonnie, and for Hope, it continues to be the Austin Kane show as he has made some tremendous saves, particularly late in that second period on some good traffic in the front of the net by Fairfield looking to capitalize, Lou. And as you talk to the head coach of Fairfield, and we talked a little bit about in the second period, yeah, you're down 7-2, yeah, you want to win the game, but you want to keep getting those goals and that goal differential, because if you have a chance in the pool, those are some of the tiebreakers.
Well, absolutely. You look in the other game across the way where Central Michigan is way out in front of George Mason, 9-1, I believe it was, towards the end of that game. You want to get this to a 2-goal deficit, just because, you know, you can score 3 goals. You know, it's not out of the realm of possibility. I look for Fairfield, as I mentioned, towards the middle or towards the end of the second period. They're going to start taking some chances. Yeah. They're going to want to cut that lead down. This is a 20-minute game for them now. Sure, they would love to come back and win and score 6 goals, but they gotta be realistic. They can't try to do it all at once. They got to play this in like 4-minute periods, if you will. Try to get a goal in that 4 minutes, maybe get another one halfway through, cut it down to maybe 7-5. Who knows? If they can get that down to a 2-goal differential, it could really benefit them towards the end of the week with pool play.
Face-off won by Fairfield. Coming in is Colehep, takes a shot, and Kane makes the save with the blocker and pushes that one away over to Ben Affinito, who picks it up, throws it back to Scott Colheap, right point. Now for Wedge. Wedge gives it off. That one gets deflected wide off the shot of Owen Gleason. And right down to Alberigo, who is going to paddle it down and drop it over to Dan Gaberna. Gaberna, one of the 2-goal scorers in today's game for Fairfield, as that one is going to slide down for an icing call with 19:22 left in the third.
Well, Marcus, Fairfield had a couple of opportunities to begin the third period, and one of the things we talked about in the second period as well is Austin Kane has given up some rebounds. Fairfield, unfortunately, hasn't been able to capitalize. Puck's hopped over the stick in front of a wide open net a couple of times. It's a game of breaks, and Hope has gotten all of them here for the most part, except for the first period, as they look to, as Fairfield again tries to get a couple of goals to cut into this deficit.
Ben Affinito takes a shot gloved out of the air by Austin Kane, who at this juncture in the contest is not going to take a lot of chances with a 7-2 lead, get a chance to cover up the puck, get a whistle, because they have been so good on that defensive zone draw.
Oh, it's amazing, the defensive zone draw. You hit the nail on the head, Marcus. Why not hold on to those pucks? You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they're playing real well.
Puck won by Fairfield, controlled by Gleason. He gets taken down with a good check by Justin Pinto. Now in front, that one goes hopping through the blue paint off the stick of Ryan McGovern. McGovern had it momentarily, then picked his pocket, was Jacob Miska, back for McGovern. McGovern centering attempt right at the blue paint, and taken out by Pinto, who clears the zone back in on Alberigo. Will Jones plays it around to the right side corner. Back into the right wing. Will Jones. Jones stretch pass up through McGovern. This one is knocked out of midair. Picked up by Fairfield. And the puck just kind of hopping over a few sticks there in that left wing corner. Nobody able to really gain control. We got a whistle coming up here. It's going to be a penalty on Hope, as McGovern had his stick knocked out, and then it was a holding call, so Hope will go on the PK here. About 1:50 gone by in the third.
Well, this will be for Fairfield. This will be their 8th opportunity on the power play, and they've got 2 power play goals, or check that, 1 power play goal, as again, huge momentum play right here now for Fairfield. Let's see if they can't get a goal to cut it to 4 and try to get a little bit something going for the rest of the week.
See if the Stags can get their 3rd power play goal tonight. Now we got a penalty, another one. It's going to be a hooking call on Hope.
Digison, I believe, is going to the box. He's not even arguing with it. He goes right to the pen, if you will, the sin bin. And so now, I don't know how many times we've said it, Marcus, another golden opportunity. Let's see if Fairfield can take advantage of this 5-on-3, get at least 1 goal to make it interesting here in this 3rd period.
5-on-3 for 1 minute and 49 seconds. Face off to the left of Kane. This one sent down the length of the ice, right in on Alberigo. Gives it to Geary. Geary along the right wing corner.
Marcus, you mentioned it, another defensive zone draw won by the Dutchman. I am so impressed with that here tonight.
They have just been a beast in the zone, in-zone draws, and Fairfield can't hold it in. Was Cam Geary at that left wing.
Well, the fans that made the trip from Holland, Michigan to follow the Dutchman are showing their appreciation of this penalty kill, the 5-on-3.
Kyle Morano now into the zone, drops it back, and it was right to Hope. And that is cleared out by Austin Huffer. 1:03 left on the 5-on-3, 17-11 left in the 3rd. Back into the zone is Mazzaro. Mazzaro sidesteps a check. Ben Affinito takes a shot, and that one gets wristed high off the glass and up and out of play. 47 left on the 5-on-3, 15:57 left in the 3rd.
Nifty move by Affinito that time, Marcus, to go in towards the goal, but unfortunately for the Stags, that shot veered wide over the top left-hand corner of the goal and out of play. Face off to the left of Austin Kane.
Face-off won by the Dutchman. And they're able to backhand that one to the point. Dan Gaberna holds it in at the left point. Now right side for Wedge. Back to Gaberna. They play catch at the blue line. Gaberna looks at his option. Or excuse me, Wedge looks at his option. Centers him. Score! Fairfield gets one back. It's the captain. Number 9, Jason Colehep, set up by Ben Affinito. And they'll still have 40 seconds of power play time. It's 7-3.
That's just what we talked about, Marcus. A huge power play goal for Fairfield. 7-3 right now doesn't sound like a lot, but if they can build on that, get a couple of more to make it 7-5, to keep that goal differential down to 2, they've still got a chance this week to make some hay.
Picked back up by Ben Affinito. His shot turned wide by Austin Kane. Comes around to the near side, into the corner. Picked up by Mazzaro. Drops it for Gaberna. Gaberna, right point. Goes down low. Here's Ben Affinito looking for another opportunity. That one turned wide off the left shoulder of Austin Kane. Here's Colehep taking a wrister, and that one ricocheted wide off the end glass. Going down into the far side corner is Colehep, and Hope clears it out. Now we got a whistle stopping play, and the faceoff will come back into the Hope zone with 15:02 left in the 3rd. 7-3 with 3 seconds left on the power play.
Lawler with his 3rd point of the night for Fairfield. He gets credit for the goal, as you mentioned. Affinito with his 2nd point. 7-3 our score. 3 seconds left, as you mentioned, on the power play. Here is now Fairfield. Let's see if they can keep the throttle down, put one more past Kane to make it interesting here. And if you're Hope, you just got to shrug it off and keep doing what you've been doing all afternoon, and that's the play on the offensive end.
As the penalty will expire, it is 7-3 in favor of Hope. Face off to the right of Austin Kane. Here's a quick shot. That one gets deflected up and out of play off the stick of Owen Gleason.
That was a quick draw there by Gleason. That had some mustard on it, and it went up into the safety netting behind the net.
Faceoff will be again to the right. Draper against McGovern. Draper wins this one cleanly back to Digneson. Then gives him a little check into the near side corner. Hope breaks back out with it as Austin Peterson with the speed. Good touch pass up to Gormley. Now for Draper. Draper puts on the brakes, looking for the relief. Now he turns around into the left wing corner. Back out in front. Alberigo had to be careful as he went down on the right pad to make the short side save. Draper now backhands it into the zone. Right wing corner below the goal line, picked up by Neary. Neary then pushed off the puck by Draper. As Fairfield trying to clear the puck out of the zone, they finally do, tipped in by Knightley. And the Stags go for a change. Wiederhoff trying to catch him in it. Brings one around the right boards. Now below the goal line is Gus Sample. This one ricocheted up off the boards and deep off Mazzaro's stick. Mazzaro and Wiederhoff battle for the puck, and the loose change picked up by Hirsch, and now we got a penalty coming up.
Mazzaro drew the penalty that time, Marcus, on Wiederhoff, so they're going to go back to the power play. Real impressed with Tom Mazzaro's speed. No give up in him, and leading by example for the Stags. They're going to go back to the power play as Wiederhoff will go to the penalty box.
That's the one thing you hear a lot of coaches say, you know, keep your feet moving. You're going to be able to draw some penalties, and Mazzaro did that on Wiederhoff below the goal line. And the Stags go back on the power play.
Ninth power play opportunity of the afternoon for the Stags. They are 2 for 8 with the extra man. Again, another chance for them to cut into the lead.
This one cleared down the length of the ice. Alberigo is going to come out to play it. Lost the handles. He fell down, but luckily the Stags had numbers back. And Will Jones came back up with it. Into the zone. Drennan trying to center it. Nobody was there. Drennan gets it right back. Back along the right side half boards. Neary punches that one in deep. Back to the point for Neary. Neary trying to shuffle this one around to Kyle Morano, who it does find the stick of in that left wing corner. Now right side in the offensive zone of the Dutchman. Caleb Warts takes his man off the puck. Stags looking for a penalty, and Hope clears it down the length of the ice.
Good penalty kill so far for the Dutchman with about a minute to go in the penalty, under 14 to go in the game. Another, as I mentioned, the Stags looking to try to get another goal to cut into that goal differential.
Face off, or excuse me, not face off. The puck won at center ice in a big collision. As it was McDonough and Huffer, two big boys colliding right at the same time at the red line. Both are okay, and Hope controls in their own zone.
Boy, it's tough to hurt that McDonough. He's a big boy for Fairfield.
Diggeson now drops it in deep, picked up by the Stags. The captain breaks back out with it. Colheap gets taken down. I'm trying to go through two men. That was Ben Affinito. Comes around to the right side corner. Dan Gaberna. Gaberna looking at his options with 12 left on the power play. Gaberna's got it to Wedge. Wedge to Gaberna. There's another shot, and it's another delayed penalty on Hope. And it's going to be a cross-check. 12:48 left in the third, and the Stags go right back on the power play.
Yeah, it looks like Digison's going to go back to the box this time, and not happy about that call. And Lawler drew the penalty, and right after another, 5-on-3 for 3 seconds, but again, another 2 minutes for the extra man for Fairfield. Again, we sound like a broken record, but they've got the momentum. They've got the extra man to try to get that goal differential cut down, trailing by 4.
Face-off one by Hope, trying to clear it. Here comes a slapper. Shoots they made by Kane off the stick of Gaberna. Hope clears it back to the blue line. Wedge holds it in. Back to Gaberna, left point. Comes around to the left side half boards. Fairfield gets taken down. It's Gaberna taking a shot, turned wide by Kane, and Hope clears down the length of the ice.
Good play on the penalty kill again by the Dutchman. 1:28 to go here in that penalty to Digison, coming down to 7 minutes left for Fairfield. in this, or 13 minutes left rather, for Fairfield to try to cut into the lead.
Evan Fall was the one that sent that one down the length of the ice. Now catches it back up at center ice with some speed. Goes right down the gut, takes a shot. That one didn't miss by much. As the goaltender, Alberigo, did not see that one. I think he might have been screened. Hope goes for a change, as does Fairfield. Warts now, left point. Skates left face-off circle, looking to center it, and now we got a penalty coming up. It's going to be on Fairfield with 11:38 left here in the third period.
What a shift for Fall. You know, he came right down there, and that was a wicked wrister that almost fooled Alberigo. And then he got checked right at center ice. He took a hard check into the boards, came right back down the other end, Marcus, and drew the penalty on Fairfield. Strong sequence by Fall. Great play.
Face-off will be to the left of Alberigo. 2 minutes goes up on the board. 11:38 left in the third. 7-3 in favor of Hope. Peterson against McGovern in the face-off dot. Pair number 10's going at it. McGovern with the definite size advantage. And he wins the draw back cleanly to Neary. Interference on Hirsch is going to be the penalty for Hope. Back with it is Jacob Miska. Here's a shot from Gormley, and that one just misses wide. Looking for that one-time slapper from the top of the right point. Picked up by Austin Peterson. Peterson gets it back to Gormley. Gormley takes the shot at Reiser, goes over the crossbar of Alberigo. Right corner for Gormley. Gormley fakes the shot. Now one comes from the point. Alberigo makes the save. Another save made by Alberigo as he went diving. His stick is caught in the net. He is without a stick. Now finally he is able to grab it. Penalty for Hope over. 1 minute left on their power play. They score! Garrett Gormley, as soon as the 4-on-4 expires, goes right underneath the 5-hole of Alberigo, and it's an 8-3 Hope lead.
9 minutes, 21 seconds, the time of that goal. He sniped it, Marcus, you mentioned it, just inside the blue line on the right side. Alberigo didn't see it, top shelf, and we've got an 8-3 lead for Hope College. Time of the goals we mentioned, 9:21.
Face-off won by Hope. They punched this one in deep. Didn't take it off the puck. And controlled is Fairfield. Andrew Bulmer gets this one in deep. Kane steers that one away in the near side corner. Picked up by Gaberna from Hirsch. Comes around to the right side half boards. Along the near side for Fall. Fall trying to clear this one out. Got it from Wiederhoft. And back out to center ice. Fall has a partial breakaway. Gets tripped up. Are we going to have a penalty shot? And we are.
We are indeed. Boy, you called it, Marcus. That was pretty evident. Fall has been playing some hockey here in this third period. He came in on the breakaway and got hauled down from behind. 10 minutes and 4 seconds left, and we're going to get a penalty shot. I'm not sure if we're going to get the media timeout first. It looks like we are. Then we're going to get that penalty. Well, maybe not.
I think we're going to get the penalty shot.
Okay.
Then the timeout. So Evan Fall is going to have a penalty shot here after getting taken down in front of Alberigo. So Evan Fall, let's see how he takes the shot. And the whistle blows, and he is going to come in on the puck. He's going to go right up the gut, right on Alberigo. Slows down, fakes, now shoots. Save made by Alberigo with the blocker. Tried to get him moving to his left to shoot back right. And Alberigo says no with 9:56 left here in the third. And we're going to get our TV timeout here. 8-3 in favor of Hope College. You're listening to day one of the ACHA Division III National Championships here from the Chiller North Ice Arena in Columbus, Ohio. Back here from the Chiller North Ice Arena, 8-3 Hope with 9:56 left in the third. Alberigo stopping Evan Fall on a penalty shot there right before the TV timeout. And the draw will be to the right of Alberigo. And face-off won by Fairfield. Picked up by Geary. Geary swings it around to the right side. Half boards picked up by Morano. Morano now looking for that stretch pass up the middle to McDonough, but it was snuffed out and picked up by Pinto. Pinto back into the zone over to the left wing. Looking for that empty zone, and it's a shot. Alberigo turns that one wide off the stick of Joe Brown. And Hope retreats back into their own zone with 9:30 left in the third.
Well, an 8-3 lead for Hope. One of the things you just got to be careful. Try to keep your head if you're Hope. You know, you got a big lead. Try not to, get enticed into anything crazy. And if you're Fairfield, again, try to get a couple of goals, at least one or two, to try to break into that lead and then just regroup for tomorrow because it is pool play and there's still an opportunity. It's not over after the first day. It is very important to get that win. But as we mentioned, crazy things has happened here in these tournaments.
Face-off won by Hope as it was laid there in the face-off dot momentarily, and finally Hope able to ring that one high up off the glass and down the length of the ice. It should be an icing call here. It is 9:13 left in the third period, 8-3.
Well, as I mentioned, Marcus, the one of the big keys at the beginning of the game was the special teams play in this contest, and the Dutchmen have gotten an A+ and then some. 5 power play goals in 6 opportunities. If you can do 83% in your power play, you're going to win a lot of games, and they proved that tonight.
Face-off comes around to the right side into the corner. Wiederhoft was there, gets it right back along the right side. Dasher up off the glass. And Francis Wedge gets this one back in over to Benefinito, and it trickles its way back out to center ice. And now we got a delayed offsides, I believe.
I think you're right. Yeah, that was very delayed offsides, but indeed that's what it was.
Face-off will come all the way back down into the Fairfield zone.
Well, one of the things too, Marcus, that I really like about Fairfield is they're still flying around the zone. They're not back on their heels. They're not holding their head down. They know that it's far from over this week. As there's no quitting them until there's 3 zeros on the clock.
Yeah, they still have to play a very good Florida Gulf Coast team who finished number 1 in the Pacific, in the South, and in Arkansas, who went through the regionals this year as well. So still a couple tough games to go, but still a lot of hockey to be played here over the next 2.5 days.
Well, that's what we mentioned, Marcus. This is such a wide open tournament. There legitimately is 16 teams. There's a reason why these teams have made it, and they've all got a lot of strengths, and it's not over at 1:30 in the afternoon on Tuesday.
Peterson dumps this one in deep, looking for Caleb Warts. Warts trying to hold it in at the right point, but it comes back out to center ice for Hirsch. Now Wiederhoft up off the boards, back to neutral territory. Warts was there, picked back up by Hirsch. And Warts looking for a penalty as he got smashed. Looking for the centering attempt to Evan Fall. Could not connect.
Marcus, I think he had a legitimate gripe on that one right in front of us. A very high hit on that one.
Back out to center ice. Arendt is there. Comes back in, turned wide by Austin Kane. Comes back out to center ice. Fall's going to go grab it. Negate the icing call. He gets taken down momentarily. I think he lost an edge. Comes back out to center ice. Andrew Blummer. Andrew Bulmer now skates around Kane, now drops it off, looking for his centering attempt, and right to Pinto, and he flips this one over to Fall. Fall gains line at the right point, trying to go through 2 men, taking a shot. I think Alberigo also got a stick on it. Now we got a whistle. It's going to be a penalty on Fairfield.
Yeah.
with 6:40 left in the third.
Marcus, one thing that also impresses me about the Flying Dutchman is they're very deep. You know, one player that we really haven't mentioned tonight that had a huge weekend in the regionals is Noah Arendt. He had the go-ahead goal in that game on Saturday to get them to the Nationals, and he's played solid, but he just, his name's not on the score sheet, but he's been very solid all night long. Really like his style of play.
One of those unsung heroes that might not get on the score sheet, but does the little things right.
Exactly, and he'll probably come up big tomorrow, in their game. So they've got a lot of weapons on the offensive end that they can pick and choose from, which makes Chris Van Timmeren's job a lot easier.
Face-off will be to the left of Alberigo. And we're set here for the draw with Colehip and Draper. Actually, Draper's going to come out, so it'll be Colehip and Peterson. And Colehip wins it cleanly back, and the Stags clear it back to the blue line. Kept back into the zone. Here's Draper. Draper turns with it, looking at his options. Spins away from one check, gets it back to the point to Gormley. Back to Draper. Left face-off circle. Now Peterson trying to go around one man. And Gormley comes back up with it. Back to Draper to the point. Now Wiederhoft spins it back down to Gormley. Back to Wiederhoft. High slot. Right side. Back over to Gormley. Gormley takes a shot, and Alberigo makes the save in the butterfly. 5:04 left in the game. 1:24 left on the power play.
Wicked shot by Gormley, but Alberigo was able to make the save on that one. The pass was deflected ever so slightly because Gormley did have a wide open net if the pass would have been right on the money.
Face-off won by Hope. Comes around to the right side, and it is back out to neutral territory, so the Hope Flying Dutchmen have to regroup at center ice. Stenstrom with the touch pass from Huffer. Stenstrom with some good stick handling. Goes back to Huffer. Right side. Picked up by Hirsch. And the Stags clear this one down the length of the ice. 1 minute left in the power play. 5:38 left in the game. 8-3 Hope.
Marcus, this is a great opportunity for some of the fourth liners that aren't getting a lot of time on the ice. Guys like Huffer and Stenstrom getting some ice time on the power play. Some great time to get them acclimated to the national tournament scene.
So the faceoff will come back down into Hope zone. It was an icing call on the Dutchman. 5:26 left here in the third period. 8-3 is your score.
Well, if you're Fairfield right now, Marcus, you got to win the draw to begin with. And then, again, we've said it many times, try to get a goal or two here in this last 5 minutes to pick some momentum going into tomorrow's action.
Pinching along the boards is Sample against Stenstrom. Stenstrom wins that battle, gives it over to Miller. Miller straight over the Blue Jackets logo at center ice, gains the right line and dumps this one into the corner. Clearing it back to the point, and Miller couldn't hold it in as it's going to be a delayed offsides. They touch up. That allows the Stags to regain possession. Sending this one down the length of the ice was the alternate captain, Dan Gaberna. One of 3 goal scorers for the Stags here tonight. Hirsch up the boards, far side. Gains the line at the right point, now goes down low into the right wing corner. Hope looking at their outlet passes, wasn't there, and the Stags come back up with it. Dump back in off the stick of Ben Affinito. Down low into the corner, Affinito has it, centering attempt, and nobody was there to pick up the puck. Francis Wedge now skates the blue line, trying to go up the middle. Colehip was there, and it was snuffed out and taken away by Hope. Then Colehip with a good back check. Took it away from Miska, but finally Hope able to clear it out with 4 left here in the third.
That was a beautiful play by Hepka Marcus. You hit the nail on the head on that one.
Colehip shoots, and that one's turned wide by Kane. Scott Colehip has been a force in this game, and this one's sent quickly back in by Fairfield.
Yeah, they're going to have to touch up onside.
Back into the zone is Jason Colehip. Scott right in on the doorstep, and he takes a whack. And Kane makes the save, gets a whistle, 3:36 left in the third.
Well, the score indicates an 8-3 lead, almost over, but the shouting. But again, Fairfield, no quit in them. They know that they've still got 2 games left to play, trying to build on any of that. And Hope College, as we mentioned earlier, try to stay away from anything that might, try to turn the other cheek, if you will. Try to build on this with a 5-goal lead.
Hope off the face-off win, clears it to center ice. Geary now back in with it at the left point. Drops it over to Morano. Morano trying to center it, but it got redirected off a Dutchman and up out of play.
No harm, no foul on that time as Fairfield's Kyle Morano went over to the Dutchman there. Don't have his number off to Brendan Michaud, and offered him a couple of words for encouragement there. Pat on the back of the leg as the face-off is to the left of Austin Kane.
Face-off will be to the left of Kane. Picked up by Drennan. Drennan clears it all the way back down the length of the ice, trying to hold it in. Alberigo comes out to play it and almost had a giveaway. Back into the zone. Picked up by Colehep. Colehep able to center this one out. Kane makes the save and gets a whistle with 3 minutes left in third. Now he got some pushing and shoving after the fact.
Yeah, a little frustration starting to set in, which is normal for a team that's down 5 goals. The excitement of coming into the game, the anticipation, and then once you realize that you may be on the short end, and that's just the nature of competition, Marcus. When you're on the downside, you got to try to keep your cool. So let's see what happens here in this last 3 minutes.
Face-off will be to the right of Kane. Fairfield getting the right personnel out there.
Another power play opportunity.
Actually, Lou, 4-on-4.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Yep. You're right, 4-on-4 hockey.
I thought the same thing, and then I looked. 4-on-4 hockey. Here's a shot, didn't get all the way through. Picked up by Warts. Clears this one up to Miska. Miska right up the gut, up the high slot. Takes a shot, and Alberigo makes the save. And a little bit of pushing as well after the fact. Less than 3 to go. 1:47 left on the power play, or on the 4-on-4.
Marcus, I want to point something out on that last play down on the other end in the Hope end. You talk about a level of confidence from Miska. A little behind-the-back pass in front of your own goalie. When you're up 5, I think you can get away with doing that. You've got that little added confidence. It's a beautiful play.
They have been playing some great defense, and it all starts, as we've talked about this entire game, with the face-off. This one is cleared up the boards and down the length of the ice. Is it going to be an icing call? No icing because Kane came out to play. 2:30 left on the third period, 1:30 left on the power play. Here's a centering attempt. That one's going to go up over the crossbar. Picked up by Fairfield. It's Cam Geary. Along the far side half boards. And Fairfield breaks back out with it. Russell Mazzaro. Mazzaro winds and fires. And Kane makes the save with 2:11 left in the third. 8-3 in favor of Hope. Coming up, let's see if we get the schedule here for you guys. Coming up a little bit later, another very good matchup in the MCHC as Oakland will take on the Empire champions of Farmingdale State. Farmingdale, their 3rd straight year in the national championship tournament. Oakland has made it the last 5 years, but this being the first year they have had to go through the regionals to make their presence known. They are the 2016 national champions when they won back in Grand Rapids. They took out Aquinas. See which MCHC team is going to be able to pick up the championship this year to keep that streak alive. Hope, Central, Michigan State, or Oakland. 4 teams have a chance to do it to keep that to a 7-year win streak for the national championship for that conference. But a lot of other hungry teams looking to knock that off knock them off the pedestal. Now we got a whistle stopping play with 1:05 left here in the third. See what the call is. Is it going to be on Hope? It's going to be a hooking call. And that's going to be on Miska. So 4 on 3 for 4 seconds, and then a 5 on 4 to finish this game off with 1:05 left. And let's see, is somebody going to take the timeout? Are we going to have a neutral zone draw? Yep, timeout is taken by Hope College with 1:05 left here in the third period. Story of the game, Fairfield has had a lot of chances in this contest, but Kane has been very good in that. Giving up 2 on the power play. And Hope, again, 5 out of 7 on the power play. They have been quite the power play machine here in this game. Got down early, 43 seconds in. It was Gaberna that put Fairfield up 1-0, and it's been it's been Hope ever since, as they have jumped out to a commanding 8-3 lead here in the third period. Faceoff will be to the right of Austin Kane. Drop of the puck, and we're underway here as Fairfield wins it. Scott Colehep goes right side over to Gaberna. Gaberna looks at his options, goes down low, and now we got another whistle. Is it going to be 6 men on, too many men on the ice? It is, so Stenstrom's going to go to the box, I believe. So we have 5 on 3 here for 1:51. So Pinto's going to serve it. Too many men on the ice is going to be the call. There was confusion as they were coming out of the penalty box. Gaberna now skates high slot, takes a shot, turned away by Austin Kane. Comes around to the near side corner board. Scott Colehep brings it around for his brother Jason. He takes a shot. That one goes just wide with 30 seconds left. Gaberna drops it for Jason Colehep. And that one is cleared down back into the Fairfield territory. Will Catalano now with one last quick rush, 20 to go. Takes a shot, save made by Kane. Wraparound attempt, and Catalano didn't get it. And now we got another whistle with 9.6 left. Is Warts, I think, is going to go to, it's probably going to be a cross-checking as he was trying to clear somebody out of the front of the net. Face-off will be to the right of Kane. Looking to finish this one off with 9.6 left. Face-off won by Fairfield. Center attempt, nobody was there. Comes right back, now 4.5 left. Kane covers it up with the trapper. Coming up after the game, Lou Gamlin will have our player of the game. which is going to be number 65, Elliot Digneson, for a post-game interview, and then Sean Bednard and Tyler Marcotte will have the next game coming up here at 2:30. Hope clears this one down the length of the ice, and that is going to do it as the horn sounds, and Hope College picks up 2 big points and a win here in game number 1 of pool play. Fairfield had a good start to this contest, just was not able to carry the momentum, but they still have 2 more games. Florida Gulf Coast, a good team that they're going to play tomorrow at 8:30, and then Thursday at 2 o'clock they will take on Arkansas. For Hope, tomorrow they have a 2 o'clock in the afternoon contest against Arkansas, and it will finish up against the Eagles of Florida Gulf Coast at 5 p.m. As the teams go through the handshake line. Very good game for both goaltenders, really played well. Kane obviously getting the win here tonight. And then he had a joint effort in goal with Lonnie and El Barrigo. Lonnie played very well. I really think he played very solid in net. Maybe didn't get the help that he needed in front, but still made a lot of big saves. And then El Barrigo came in once they made it 7-2. El Barrigo giving up just the 1 lone goal. And we're going to have Lou Gamlin is going to be live with our player of the game, Elliot Diggeson.
All right, we're here with Elliot Diggeson of the victorious Hope Flying Dutchman. And Elliot, you guys started out 30 seconds in, you found yourselves down 1-0, but that didn't deter you. You came back strong.
Yeah, not at all. Obviously, we were in the box way too much that game. They capitalized on that right away. But I think we did a great job not letting up. We got momentum back. We kept staying. We played in their zone all period, so we knew we were in the game. And we got a couple goals there, and we got momentum.
Well, you had the hat trick tonight, 3 goals, 4 points altogether. Your power play today, fantastic. I think you were 5 out of 6 or 5 out of 7. You guys go 83% on the power play. You're not going to lose very many games.
No, yeah, and we put in a lot of work on that the week leading up to this tournament. So that's what we expect. You know, if we work on it that hard, we want to be capitalizing. We did today, and it helped us a lot.
So what now? You guys get to rest up today. What do you tell the rest of the team going into the game tomorrow?
We know they're a fast team. Gulf Coast is good. It's going to be a good matchup, a fast hockey game, and we're excited. We don't play till 8:30 tomorrow, so we got a lot of time to rest, hit the cold tub, and we're looking forward to it.
Congratulations. Thanks.
Appreciate it.
All right, Marcus, 8-3 win for Hope. Opening game, as we mentioned, this opening game is huge, and now they get the momentum going into tomorrow night. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Lou. Their player of the game, Elliot Diggeson, talking about Florida Gulf Coast, a very fast team that they will see tomorrow night at 8:30. So repeating your final score, 8-3, Hope takes game number 1 against the Stags from Fairfield University. For Lou Gamlin, I'm Marcus Grosnick. We'll see you back here at 5:30 for Oakland and Farmingdale State. This has been a presentation of the ACHA and the ACHA Division III National Tournament.